adventures, and welcome to another episode. I'm out here today at the archery range to work on getting my crossbow sighted in for deer season, which is actually started yesterday, and hopefully I'll get to get out and do some hunting this season soon. So we'll start off today. I'll go over some of my equipment and what I have for sighting in my crossbow, and I'll just discuss kind of what I do and reasons behind it and that type of thing. So to start off, I've got a this is my crossbow. It is a Barnett XP390. It came as a package deal. It came with the scope, the crossbow, the quiver, and 3 bolts, and that was all a package deal. You'll notice that this one has the hand crank on it. It is a crank, or has a built-in crank for cocking the string, and that is very nice. I've definitely very happy I went with that. It makes it much easier, especially after injuring my shoulder last year. Anything I can take of work that my shoulder has to do, the better. The next piece of equipment I have today is a telescoping monopod rest. This is used for either rifles, or it can also be used for crossbows. It just is a nice tool to have. Very lightweight in your backpack. Very small footprint, so it doesn't take up a lot of room in the hunting blind with you, and it just helps you have a much more steady shot. The next thing you'll see is my blackout blind chair. This is a swiveling chair that for you to be able to have in your blind. It folds up very small and has a carry strap, so it's very easy to carry with you into the field. It's not very heavy at all. I would guess maybe 5 pounds. The next thing you'll see is my blackout target. This one has, on one side has the vitals, and then on the other side is the bullseyes. I like using this with my crossbow. The range I have has nice targets in it. They're great for my bow, but the crossbow shoots the bolts a little bit harder and buries them so deep that they're very hard to get out of those targets. So I like this target a little bit better for my crossbow. The other piece of equipment I have is my collapsible wagon. Just makes things very easy to carry things in and out of the field. Obviously, if I was going out hunting, I wouldn't have the target with me, so I would be able to put other things in there, like my blind, my bow, my backpack, things like that. Just makes it easier to get in and out, not have to make multiple trips if you have a lot of equipment. That was a very nice add to my kit last year. I really enjoyed having that, and I use it for all kinds of things, not just hunting, but fishing, range days like today. Like I said, with my shoulder injury, carrying that target, which is about 50 pounds probably, if you have to carry it very far, that gets kind of heavy. So having the wagon makes it nice. So that's about all of the equipment I have today. I am very much a advocate for practice like you hunt. It both makes you a more ethical hunter and more successful. I think if you are practicing while you're in the field, or I'm sorry, not practicing, if you practice at the range just like you do when you're hunting in the field, then everything becomes muscle memory. You remember how to do it, even without thinking. It just helps you to be a more sure shot. Wow, that was a fun one to say. But it just is something I think helps you be more successful. Less chance of injuring an animal. You get a better shot the more you practice, and you practice in real game situations, then you have, I think you just have a lot more success in the field. Of course, that also depends on the animals cooperating, but that's a whole nother subject. Well, anyway, let me get my target set up, and then we will go through using or sighting in the crossbow. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cock this crossbow. The first thing you do is switch the reel to off, and that allows you to loosen it up, and you pull these hooks off, and then pull down on the cables so you can get them on the crossbow string on either side of the track. Then switch it back to on, and what that does is that, I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, but every time I turn this so far it clicks. That on will click so that when I let go it holds it. If I left it on off, if I let go of the reel, it would just go back. So then I will cock this back till it gets to the top, and if you just heard that click, that is in the locked position. Now I will switch it back to off, which unfortunately my crank landed in just the right spot to make that a little bit difficult. There you go. Slowly let off the crank in case it didn't lock in place, but it did. And wind out a little bit more, get the locks off, crank it up a little bit, put the hooks back on the locking pegs, and then crank the cocker back into place. Then, to load a bolt, keep your hands outside of that. Do not put your hands through that line. If for some reason this were to give way, it could injure you very badly. Now, this is one of my archery bolts, or my crossbow bolts. You'll notice it has two colored veins and one white vein. On these ones, it even says on the white vein, this vein down. Not all of them do. Whatever your odd color vein is the one that goes down. You'll notice this is the knock. These bolts actually came with what's called Luminox, which is really nice. They will, when the crossbow fires, it will turn on a light in this knock so that it's easier to follow the knock. This is the tip. These have removable tips so that I can use, while I'm here at the range, I can use field tips. And when I'm out hunting, then I can put on broadheads for hunting. It is a good thing to keep in mind when you're buying your field tips or your broadheads. You want to make sure that they're the same weight. That way, when you practice, your arrow or your bolt will do the same thing on the range as it does when you're out hunting. So these are 100 gram, yes, I believe 100 gram field tips, my broadheads are also 100-gram broadheads. Now, I don't have them with me today because I'm at the range and I don't use broadheads at the range. It would destroy my target, and it could potentially hurt broadheads that are far more expensive than field tips. I think these field tips, I bought a package of 10 of them for about, I think it was like $7 or $8. The broadheads are more like about $10 or $12 a piece. So obviously you don't want to damage them if you don't have to. To load these, you will take the crossbow and put the white fletching into the track, and I keep my hands in front of where the crossbow string would be if it were to fire, and I push it into place. There, it's fully seated. You'll notice that the tip is right between the limbs, and then the vanes come back into this below the scope, and there's a little brush there that helps hold the bolt in place. Now I'm going to flip my safety back on. It was already on. I actually slipped it to fire, but I put it back. That way it doesn't fire until I'm ready, and we are set to go. So I have shot this before, so it is somewhat dialed in. I just want to make sure it's good so I can make an ethical shot if I see a deer while I'm out hunting. So we'll do that now. We'll try to take a shot. You can see that I have extended out my telescoping monopod and measured it up to be where it's at the right height when I'm sitting in my chair. So we'll take a shot and see how we do. Line up, I'm aiming for the white portion of the target. And it looks like I hit a little bit high and to the right. So, by hitting high and to the right, I need to adjust my scope some. What I do is I'll take these caps off. You want to make sure you don't lose these caps because that's what keeps dirt out of your adjustments on the scope. So it'll have on mine, they have these little knobs inside under the caps, and it says to turn it that way to raise. So then I was shooting high, so I want to turn it this way to drop my shot. And I turn it a couple of clicks, and then we'll figure out if that was enough when we shoot the next shot. Now, I was a little bit to the right, so I want to go a little bit to the left, and this one has an arrow pointing that way to dial to the left. So I will turn that 2 clicks, I think. So I'm going to leave the caps off right now because I'm going to be doing adjustments. When I'm done with this and when I'm out in the field, I will not take those caps off. Okay. Well, those are getting further away. So I'll take you down there with me this time, and we'll see where they're at, so I can show you, and then we'll come back and readjust. So it's just trial and error as you're doing this. You gotta just keep putting in the time and take a shot, adjust the scope, take a shot, adjust the scope, and eventually you'll get it dialed in. All 3 of my shots are still good, viable shots. They're in the lungs, which is good. Unfortunately, where I was aiming was for what is the heart, and so as you'll see here, the white spot is the heart and the red is the lungs. So I'm obviously up high. I got to adjust to get that down to be where I'm hitting, where I'm aiming. So give me just a second, we'll get these arrows pulled and go back and reset. One thing to keep in mind when you're shooting a crossbow, you'll notice that there are these two braces here. That is for you to, those are not braces, those are finger guards. You want to keep your hand below those to keep your fingers from getting up into the danger triangle. You'll notice that below is the hand guard, or the hand hold on the forearm. So, let's load the next bolt. And that Luminoc trigger is very sensitive. I've already set it off, but that's okay. Okay, so you'll notice that just like a gun, I don't put my finger inside the trigger guard until I am ready to fire. It is a safety rule. You never put your finger on the trigger until you are aimed and ready to shoot. This is just like a gun in the sense that you never aim this at something you are not ready to destroy. You always keep it on safe until you're ready to fire. Keep your finger out of the trigger guard until you are ready to fire. And always know what's behind your target. If you don't know what's behind your target, don't shoot. Now, a crossbow is not quite like a gun in the sense that more than likely, if your target has any kind of substance, it's going to stop the bolt or slow it down enough that it won't hurt anything behind it, but you don't want to take that chance. It is a lethal weapon. It can do lots of damage, and so you want to treat it with respect and caution. Just like any other, or any firearm, or a compound bow, a recurve bow, any kind of weapon that launches projectiles, you need to treat with those safety rules in mind. Okay, let's take this last shot and see what we're doing. Okay, well, I guess let's go see where we're at here. Okay, as we get close, you can see they're all still in the lungs, so that's good. Got one down close to the heart range. The other two are still high, so not sure why, but at left to right's looking good. We'll just have to work on getting those bolts dialed down a little bit. Okay, we'll get these pulled and reset. Boy, it is a muggy day here in Missouri today. Not too hot, that's nice. Okay, that looks like a pretty good shot. We're getting very close, I think. That might be in the target. Yeah, right where I want it. Okay, let's go take a look. Okay guys, well, as you saw, I got my crossbow sighted in. every shot I took today was a kill shot. The first ones were all lung shots, so those would have been good ethical shots to take. I just wanted to have my scope sighted or zeroed in a little bit better than that, especially if I had to take a shot that was longer than 40 yards. That might not have been a good shot had I not got that more dialed in. The last shot I took was a dead center heart shot, right where I was aiming. Perfect. So I think I've got it dialed in pretty good for whatever shot I would have to take. Hopefully I won't have to take a shot more than about 40 yards, just because that's what I'm the most comfortable with right now. But I have shot it out to 60 yards, so I feel pretty confident that even at something at 60 yards I could probably get a good shot. I may try to get out at least one more time before I go actually hunting, and maybe do a few of the longer shots. It's just getting so muggy today, and it's starting to warm up some that I'm ready to call it a day. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe and click the notification bell so that I can so that it'll notify you anytime I upload a video, so you don't miss anything. Once again, thanks for joining me today, and hope to see you in the next video.